Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. So this is the car you guys maybe have been waiting for a long time for me to make a review. Finally, I got the opportunity. Alright. So today I'm going to review this 2022 or 2023 Perodua Alza. This is the full spec model, 1.5 AV spec. Alright, today I'm going to show you a detail around the car. Alright, show you the engine, the specification, the spec sheet of the car. Alright, so this is actually the hot MPV in Malaysia because it's now selling like hotcakes and it has a long waiting list. Oh no, somebody have burning engine oil. Alright, so I'm here in Bandar Puteri. Alright, so now let's begin the review. So this Perodua Alza comes with 3 variants, alright, using the same engine and gearbox. 1.5 liter 2 NRVE dual VVTi 4-cylinder, alright, generates 105 horsepower and 138 Newton meters of torque. So the power figure is slightly higher than the Perodua Myvi, even though it's using the same engine, because the Alza is a 7-seater MPV. Alright, so you need more power to push this car. Alright, so they have 3 specs: 1.5H and 1.5X. That is the lowest variant. 1.5H, the middle spec, and this is the full spec, 1.5 Advanced. Alright, so before we start, please make sure to subscribe my channel, like and share my videos. So now let's begin our detailed walk around video and review about this 2022 and 2023 Perodua Alza. Alright, now let's check out the engine bay first. So this car comes with keyless entry. It's a touch sensitive type, but it's only offered on the driver's side only. Alright, like its sister model, the Toyota Veloz, comes for both sides, but for the Alza only the driver's side comes with the keyless entry buttons. Alright, so let's unlatch it. Alright, so here's the engine bay of the Perodua Alza. Okay, no hydraulic struts because this is not a really expensive car. No engine cover as well. So here's the engine bay. Looks pretty gosong, alright, as you can see. Because now the overall car is more boxy and it's more lower than the previous Alza. So it gives you a very sporty appeal, and some people never seen this car will thought this is a mini Wildfire or Alphard because the looks is just so nice for a locally made and local design MPV. Alright, so the gearbox is using the DCVT gearbox. It's the same gearbox you can find in all the Perodua models, including Toyota Vios, because they all share the same components, and the chassis running on the Alza is also same with the Vios, which is a DNGA B platform. Alright, so it promises a better handling and better ride quality compared to the previous Alza. Alright, so now let's check out the exterior, but I need to turn the lights on. I'll start the engine first. So this car comes with automatic headlights and fog lights. Okay, when the key is with you, if you leave the car, you will have the chime. So this is the exterior overall look when the car is started. Alright, looks really nice. Full LED headlights. Even until the low spec Alza comes with LED headlights, but what is additional to the full spec is it comes with auto high beam. Alright, but there are no active cornering lights. Alright, it's a very basic LED light system with auto high beam function. And for the full spec, it comes with sequential LED indicators, but you can see it's actually 3 LED bulbs that comes in different time range, so that it generates the LED sequential. Nonetheless, it still looks pretty nice. And the front fascia looks really sporty. Alright, and this is gloss black. If you get the middle spec, the H variant, this part will be finished in silver. Alright, it's not a gloss silver, and this part also finished in silver, but in the advanced spec, it's finished in chrome. Alright, and these patterns right here are all finished in gloss black. This houses your 360-degree front camera. So the front bumper looks very sporty. And this car actually fitted with the gear up accessories, so you get the additional under bumper section together with the daytime running lights. Alright, so it makes the ride height of the car looks even lower. So when we go through speed bumps, you need to take extra care. And I think this ride height is even lower than the Alphard right there with the Modelista body kit. So you can actually imagine this car as a modern days Grand Livina because it looks like a wagon. Front corner sensors, LED fog lights. Alright, so this car is using a 60-inch dual tone rim. Alright, using a Toyo Proxet CR1 tire, finished in 195/60 R16. Front and rear for the full spec you get disc brake. H and X variant you get rear drum brakes. So this is one key point of the Alza that you should know. So the overall dimension of this car is longer, wider, as well as lower than the previous Alza. So it looks more modern right now. So here's the rear look. It's similar to its sister model, the Toyota Veloz, just that for the Alza it doesn't come with the LED bars. You get separate LED tail lights, LED signal indicators. The reverse light are also finished in LED. Alright, so full to the brim. So you get a gear up accessory, so you get under bumper section as well as a rear spoiler. Alright, shark fin antenna. So what you think about the looks of this car? I think it looks very nice for a local make MPV, and in 2023 the Perodua Alza as a B segment MPV is actually worth considering because the looks is quite nice. Alright, and the specs given are quite okay as well. And one notable things, the side mirrors are mounted on the door right here, so you get lesser blind spot when you are looking inside the car. And here also houses a 360-degree side camera. Alright, so now let's check out the interior of the car. So that's the advanced safety assist of the Alza. So when you open up the doors, you get the combination of dual tone interior only for the AV spec. H and the X variant gets full black interior, which is less interesting, right? But if I'm the owner of the Alza, I'll actually wrap this panel to other color because I don't quite like this maroon finishing. But nonetheless, it makes the interior look less dull. Seat adjustment are all finished in manual, expected. And the seat quality, seat upholstery for the front, alright, is miles better than any Perodua cars right now. You get enough side supports, and it's combination between fabric and man-made PU leather. Alright, quite comfortable for Perodua. Right, so let's close the door. So typical Perodua, the door closing sound still isn't that solid. So this part wrapped in hard plastic. Alright, automatic window for driver's side, auto folding side mirrors, automatic high beam buttons, turns off your ASA, turn off your traction control, turns off your auto start stop, turns off your front parking sensors. Basically what you need, the Alza already given. This is a cup holder, alright, it's fixed. But for the passenger side, it's retractable. And the aircon vents right here is a big cut cost because usually cars they give you 2 to 3 this plastic bar, alright, but in the Alza only give you 1. Alright, you can close it all the way off, alright, if you don't want the air to pass through. This is something rare for modern car right now. The steering wheel similar to the Toyota Veloz, but what is different is the same from the Toyota Veloz. What is different is the leather quality. It's more rougher and less comfy, I would say, compared to the Veloz. Okay, it's not a Napa leather, it's a man-made leather. But nonetheless, the steering wheel looks very nice, and it comes with full function for the advanced spec. This to control the meter cluster, alright. Same with the Toyota Vios or Activa. Design, you get 4 different design. Okay. Only difference is the screen size is different, alright. Even Alza also use this meter, right? Eco indicator lights, average fuel consumption, trip A, auto start stop, opening display, ending display type, steering angle when you put into reverse. Here will shows you ACC when your adaptive cruise control is activated. Alright. Time and date you can adjust, alright. So here's the cruise control buttons, right? This is the adaptive cruise control. For the Alza, it comes with stop and go. So this is different from the Perodua Myvi or Activa's adaptive cruise control, alright. So this is the drive mode selector. You short press to enter power mode, you long press, you enter to eco mode, alright. You can see your current fuel consumption, average fuel consumption. See, eco mode when you long press it. But one thing weird is you can activate power mode and eco mode at the same time. Alright, quite weird, but it's fine. Digital speedometer, this is your fuel gauge. Alright, this part is wrapped in plastic. 4-spoke steering wheel. The steering angle only tilt but not telescopic adjustment, alright. So this is some drawbacks for the Alza. Automatic headlights, alright, which I just demonstrated. You get a rather shallow footrest. The pedals are not finished in organ type, alright. So moving to the party piece of the Alza, the center console right here, massively improved over the previous Alza and also its competitor. So for the price range, the most closest competitor would be the Proton Exora, but that car has been around for a long time. So for this interior, it's actually quite fresh. So dashboard, hard plastic, but it's rather okay for Perodua, although it still feels quite cheap. You get a tweeter for the full spec. So this car total has 6 speakers, and I can guarantee you the sound system is better than any Peroduas out there. So this is the floating touchscreen that many Alza owners complain it may go wrong, but it comes with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Alright, quite a lot of function. Alright, Bluetooth, radios. Okay, settings, you can set a lot of things right here. Reset to factory. The refresh rate and the response is considered quite smooth. Alright, air vents right here. Alright, this is the silver garnishing, chrome bits. Alright, this is the aircon panel. It's a manual air conditioning. Alright, fan speed, there's no automatic climate. Alright, only the Veloz comes with it. Alright, this part right here is finished in gloss black. If it's in the H or X, this part is wrapped in, it's finished in some carbon fiber patterning. This is your push start button. And one thing you loses for the AV spec is here supposed to have a compartment which is present in the X and H variant, but in the advanced somehow they just block it for no reason. Alright, and the quality of the panel is quite squishy, but is considered quite solid for Perodua. Here doesn't come with any ambient lighting like the Veloz, but you can always do it aftermarket because both of these cars share the same platform. And when you put to P, the doors will automatic unlock. But of course, you can set this to off, alright, in the settings in the meters or whatnot. And this is the DCVT gearbox. Comes with manual transmission, manual shifting, up to 7 virtual gears. When you put into reverse, comes with a 360-degree camera, which are rather low res, alright, but I still can use it. And when you put into reverse, as I mentioned, it can show your steering angle. Alright, quite well thought out feature. So only for the advanced spec comes with a electronic parking brake, and I think it's because of this the rear brakes of the Alza is finished in disc instead of drum. You get a brake hold function, central locking. This is a most logical place to put instead of on the doors, so your passenger can control the door lock and unlock. Alright, this part actually well designed, but I would expect the build to be more solid, but it's more than just solid for a Perodua. Alright, you get center armrest, here you can put your keys. Alright, this is the dedicated place to put your keys, just perfect. Alright, inside here you do get a 12-volt socket. Beside here you do get a side pocket as well, and for the passenger as well. And here it does come with a 2.1 ampere charging, and just now I plugged my phone for a charge. It's 2.1 ampere, so it's considered quite fast. So the roof lining of this car is considered low, alright, because as you can see the overall design of this car is very low slung. The lights are finished in LED. I suspect this is owner aftermarket added. And this sun visor is familiar if you own a second generation Perodua Myvi. It's the same supplier, alright. Nonetheless, it's still usable. Doesn't come with a light. Here you can slot your cards in, but this over time it will lose. Manual dimming rear view mirror, and this dash cam comes with it when you bought it new for the full spec. This RFID tag as well. How to register? There's a sticker on the passenger side glove box. You open it, there's a code right here. You can register your RFID in the Touch and Go e-wallet. So now let's check out the rear seats. Okay, I need to unlock twice. So one thing notice for the rear seat, you notice the seat back right here is significantly shorter than the front seat. So there are some cost cutting going on for the middle seat. So I will sit inside and demonstrate. So the floor isn't too tall, so it can give you easy access inside the car. Seat length is pretty short, alright, same as the front seat, because they need to maximize space for all 3 rows passenger to sit adequately comfortable. Here are the leather pouch, cup holder, 2 USB ports, alright. Center hump isn't too tall, so you can see a middle passenger, but do note that there's no middle passenger headrest, alright. And one thing I must say is the seat back is too short, so when I sit, I'm around 170 cm tall. My back doesn't have enough support, unfortunately. So there are some cost cutting going on for the rear seats, and the doors right here also have some cost optimization going on. This part is framed in full black, whereas at the front you do get some color mixture. So this is the kind of combination if you get the lower spec of the Alza. Here you do get cup holders, quite big, door pockets, and the seat you can actually forward and back. Okay. So here's the interior from the rear. Alright, nicely designed. And this is the rear aircon vents. Finally, the Alza comes with a rear aircon vents, but the cooling speed is not as fast as the front, because the rear aircon vent doesn't come with a cooling coil. It's more than just a blower right here. You can control the fan speed, and the temperature depends on the front seat temperature control, where the cold air blows out from the front aircon vents, go inside this thing right here, so it can comes out, so you get adequate cool air. Alright, okay, adjust different angles. Alright, rear reading light. You do get a center armrest if you pull the strap and put the armrest down. Alright, it's in an ergonomic position. Alright, one thing I would appreciate for for a facelift or newer Alza, the seat back can do a bit longer, so can support my back. The headrest also quite thin. Alright. So now let's get to the rear seats. Just the row seat, just push this. Okay, very easy. Okay, this is the most traditional way of seat folding. You find it in the Avanza, the Grand Livina, the Exora, alright? Also the previous Alza. So because the seat, the floor of this Alza is quite low, so getting inside the car is not an issue. Alright? So okay. So this is the amount of room I get, amount of space. Actually not too bad, and the seat bench is rather high up, so my leg doesn't hanging for too much. Alright. And the rear you do get 12-volt sockets, some compartment, cup holders, alright. Actually the third row seat is not as bad as I would expect, but same story as the middle row seat. The seat back is a bit too short to support my back. Okay, as you can see, still get some place that is. Alright, so I will suggest Perodua to make it longer, alright, for better rear seat comfort. Rear doesn't have isofix mount, only for the middle row. Outer two seats comes with isofix mount. But one thing I appreciate is even though the third row doesn't come with individual aircon vent, but this aircon vent is enough to blow the air to the third row seat. And if you only need for the second row passenger, you can always put these vents down so that it can only focus for the middle row passenger. So this is actually the usage of this panel, alright? And one thing you notice, the third row seat doesn't come with a grip handle compared to the front, alright? So yeah, let's get it down. So this is a seat mechanism when the seat is folded like that, and this car uses Dudu mat, right? Let me take the keys. Now let's check out the boot space. There's a touchpad underneath the Perodua badge. So when you open it, it reveals generous amount of boot space, alright, when the third row seat is up. If you want it more space, always fold the third row seat by pulling this strap, alright? If the middle row seat is moved to a most backward position, it will create a sort of flat loading floor, but it's not as flat as the Mitsubishi Expander or the Proton Exora, alright? But it's still flat. Underneath right here, you do get some space to put your stuff. Alright, a spare tire, because the spare tire is mounted underneath the chassis. Alright, when you want to fold it out, just pull again and adjust the seat back angle. Alright. So this is basically my detailed walk around video of this 2022 or 2023 Perodua Alza 1.5 Advance. So is it worth considering? Hell yes! For the budget of 80,000 ringgit, Malaysia get you this 7-seater MPV with good specs. There are no second choice in the market. New, I'm considering a new MPV. It's not the second hand. If second hand, you can consider, let's say like a used Estima or used Alfa with 5 years, alright, it's around the price of that. But for a new car, I think the Alza is actually worth consider and one of the best product that Perodua ever produced. Alright? So once again, be sure to subscribe, like and share my videos. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers!